prayer is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. Which means if we believe that prayer is communicating with God, there are moments where we should hear God speak back to us. But the thing is that if we are not prepared to be able to listen for God's guidance, our prayers will just be offered and we will never receive feedbacks. So listening and guidance are the feedbacks we receive when we talk to God. A lot of Christians have not developed the discipline of listening and guidance. And it's simply because we don't understand the languages of God. When God speaks, He does not always use His mouth. God does not use His mouth always to speak. God can speak with you through thoughts, through pictures, mental pictures, through impressions and intuitions. For example, you plan to go somewhere, you woke up in the morning, you just lost your peace. You don't just feel like going. So you decided not to go, and you heard that those who went had an accident. That discomfort you had about not going was the voice of God being communicated through impression. Am I teaching good here? It was the voice of God. Look, if you don't get this thing I'm teaching on listening, God can give you a solution and you will discard it. You may be praying about your job. Lord, give me a job. Give me a new job. Lord, I want to have a new job with change my salary status. The moment you finish praying, you began to think about one of your friends. Your JHS friends. All of a sudden, Emmanuel's thoughts just came to your mind. You didn't know why the thought Emmanuel. Why are you thinking about Emmanuel? You didn't plan to think about Emmanuel immediately after you prayed. Now, a lot of Christians will just think about that and throw it away. When you begin having Emmanuel's thoughts in your heart, just send him a text message that I just thought of you. I just wanted to call to check up. Are you okay? For all you know, a conversation may spark up concerning a job opportunity which God was trying to draw your attention by bringing the thought of Emmanuel into your soul, so you can be able to communicate for him to bring the job opportunity. Then you can apply. So there is something called listening in prayer. A lot of Christians are disappointed in God. They said, I have prayed, I have prayed. No answer. Look, God has given most of us answers without hearing. Do you know that Zoom Lion, had a dream several times carrying Bola? Most of you would have gone for deliverance. Every time you sleep, he's carrying Bola. Every time you wake up, he's beside Bola. Which is why sometimes you have to be careful about dream books. If you have a dream, you are eating, you are about to die. If you have a dream and you see a dog, it's disappointment. Look, the interpretation of a dream usually is more accurate with the one who had a dream. Usually when you wake up from a dream, you know the interpretation of the dream better than the one who's about to interpret. Are you here with me? So there are sometimes when you are eating in your dream, it's not always demonic. It's angels feeding you. I'm teaching you good so that you don't have a formula. You don't have a formula. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how you may miss. Because Zoom Lion had dreams beside Bola, and God was telling him to go into Bola business. So I'm sure some of you, God, you may have a dream. Every time you have a dream, you are eating or you are feeding somebody. It's probably you may be a good cook and God is telling you to cook. You will feed nations. So what I'm trying to say is that one aspect of prayer that has not been taught to the body of Christ is the act of listening. Look, I have learned to do listening now. When we moved here first, I was asleep and I had a dream. In the dream, I was in a car going somewhere, and then soldiers had done a barricade, and then they stopped the car and they said, what's your license? I showed them my license. They said, let me check your roadworthy. So they checked the thing. Everything was intact, but they said they will not allow me to go. They said I should get down from the car. I was just about getting down and I woke up. If you had a dream like that, what do you think God is telling you? Immediately we moved to this community. So God was telling me that the principalities in this community will not make this church grow. They will not make me move to the next dimension. Are you following what I'm teaching you? So God has given me an information that there is a barrier in this place I've come. I can't cross it. So now I must enter into war. It's not a time for joking. So anytime I remember the dream, it puts me on my toes in prayer. So most of the time, the feedbacks of God is in the simple thoughts that you discussed. Look, if you finish a quality 1 hour prayer, quality 2 hours prayer, don't joke with thoughts that comes to mind. Every thought that comes to mind is anointed. After prayer, be sensitive to any signal. Any signal. Any signal. Just every signal. Be sensitive. God may be saying something that you may not know that he's saying something. This spiritual activity I'm talking to you about, if you take it seriously, God will shock you.